Next.
Welcome to T4G Sports. Today we're going to go over how to find hidden gems with our T4G scouting data in college football 26 when it comes to Backfield Creator 3-star quarterbacks. And we're going to be comparing them with the athlete dual threat quarterbacks and just kind of seeing who's easier to scout, who's got a little bit better numbers, and all that good stuff there. And then we're going to obviously go on to 4 stars, finish up 3 stars, do all the good stuff. So without further ado, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, click the notification bell. Let's jump into it. So let's go over the numbers on the Backfield Creator and then compare it with the athlete dual threat 3-star quarterback and just kind of see what we get there. So we'll pop the numbers up and then we'll talk about them. Throw power, it's better than athlete dual threat in the range aspect, but not numbers wise. But if you look at just across the board, acceleration, speed, there's a lot of indicators that you're going to be able to get from here. But I was kind of disappointed in looking at the numbers for a Backfield Creator. A little bit disappointed there. So now let's compare them with the athlete dual threat and kind of see where these two quarterbacks shake up, at least in these attributes. So if you look at awareness, what is awareness when it comes to Madden? Is it going to help you in user play? No, it's not. People will say it's going to help you in user play. I would argue that that is heavily debatable because that is just usually inflation. We used to tell you all the time with Madden is that, like, if you look at the awareness is just inflating the players overall. That's really it. If you get your upgrade packages and it's a lot in awareness, your quarterback, how much better did he really get? He just now knows his hand from his foot. Aside from that, his awareness is not going to make you see an open wide receiver and throw that ball better. His accuracy, his throw power, a lot of other things are going to indicate or be able to help you with that more than awareness is. So awareness is not like, oh, this is guaranteed going to help you. Even in simulation, we have found plenty of times with EA where awareness is supposedly going to help you be better, and it did not help them be better. So I'm going to lean on awareness is not as important as a lot of people think it is. A lot of people like awareness, or at least have in prior years, and I'd have to say there's plenty of times I've won a lot of Super Bowls and championships with guys who weren't that aware of what was going on. So I'm not saying it's useless, but I'm also not saying that it's super valuable either. If you look at throw power, the Backfield Creator has better numbers when it comes to the range, and you're looking at an 82 average for throw power. For athlete dual threats, you're looking at an 83. So a little bit better, and some of the high-end guys are going to just do a little bit more. Okay. When you look at the short accuracy, again, the ranges are a little bit better, but the highs can be better for the athlete dual threats. If you look at the medium accuracy, same thing applies there. Dual threats could have a little bit more with that. Now, here's a number where the deep accuracy. This is where they smoke the athlete dual threat quarterback. They smoke them is on the deep accuracy, which is really interesting. The average is a 74 for them. Athlete dual threats is a 64, just on an average basis. And I didn't even think I'd be using these averages that much, but it's actually looking pretty snazzy. I gotta say, the throw on the runs is 74. But they're getting beat by the dual threat quarterback on that. They're 74, but their range goes as high as 79. Athlete dual threat goes as high as an 84. So you're going to find, you will find some higher octane guys on their throw on the run. Now, under pressure rating here, this is where Backfield Creator takes the lead on under pressure. Okay, you look at the break sack. Not even close. I don't understand how you're a Backfield Creator, just in the general sense of the term. How are you a Backfield Creator and you're worse at breaking tackles? Isn't that the point, being in the backfield and like creating, like running, you're technically the guy who's like breaking tackles, but in this, it just doesn't quite equate. And I know they may have a different definition for a Backfield Creator, but just you ask anyone, what is a Backfield Creator and a quarterback? My mind goes to like a a guy who's running in the back, kind of like a Patrick Mahomes, or a guy who's running in the backfield, like creating plays for his wide receiver. And those guys tend to be better at like slipping tackles, and breaking tackles perhaps. But they just don't stand a chance with athlete dual threat quarterbacks. Speed also. They just don't stand a chance on average over dual threat athlete quarterbacks. Acceleration, same thing. Their high is not even the low of the athlete dual threat. So all in all, just from these numbers here, I would have to say that athlete dual threat 3-star quarterbacks, I would probably favor. Now the deep threat, or the deep accuracy, not as good, but on some of those, they hit some of those other benchmarks that just could make them a little bit better and easier player to deal with. The Backfield Creator 2, you got a better deep accuracy, but your throw power is kind of hot garbage. So it's kind of like, I don't know, there's different pieces. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. Now, let's put it to the test and scout some of these guys. Okay, so remember, you're going to come across hidden gems. Also, if the guy comes back, he hits all these numbers, but he turns out being a bust, there's just some back-end attributes that he is just not hitting. Okay, and so I'm just this information is just to help you as much as possible. So you got to really just do a process of elimination here. Try to see what you can find. Go through, and I'll go through the entire thing. This guy, and this will also show you, do you have a quarterback who is at least fitting the go-to, even if he's not a gem? Is he fitting the base numbers of the other guys of his same archetype, right? And if you do get a gem, how good of a gem is he? Okay, so this information gives you more than just finding hidden gems. All right, so short accuracy is a 76. That's a high. Medium accuracy is a 64. That's a low. Deep accuracy is a 70, which is, it's not that great. This guy, he could be a gem. You could look at the gold bars, but so far, this guy is not the main. I would probably move on. If I were you guys, if you were, tight on hours, I would move on from this guy here, but I'll show you anyways. So there you go. Take a look at this guy. Make sure no JUCO guys, because that'll ruin it. Just the data does not work with JUCO guys. Short, at least not that we're aware of. If you guys want to test it, let me know. Short accuracy is a 69. Deep accuracy is 72. Under pressure 76. Break sacks is 69, which is pretty high. Maybe he'll break the data. I don't know. It happens. That's why we constantly collect data. But it's unlikely. So 75 speed, yeah, he could still be decent if you look up the rest of the numbers and see still. And by the way, remember, these guys here, just because they're wimps does not mean that they're not gems, because they fear talent. Now his awareness is a 56. That seems awfully low, but actually it's really not that bad. Now, what do you see here right out of the bat that tells you this guy is a turd? His speed's turd-like. He's not a gem. It's not happening for this guy. He's just not my favorite. Okay, so we got Wheat. What a name. 79 speed. He's breaking the sound barrier, this guy. Look at him go. Deep accuracy is 73. Remember, if the numbers are too off, like they're like way too high, that's usually a bad indication. It's a red flag. So this guy, not a gem. Pretty obvious. Am I going to find a damn gem in here? 52. It still shocks me when I see their awareness. 80 overall, or 80 throw power on this bad boy. Not bad. He could be a gem. He could be, but I add the numbers up, he may still actually be a hidden gem. So 76 speed, 84 throw power. Whoa, this guy's doing well. This guy has all the indications of being a gem, but you just really never know. Yeah. Yep, there he is. What about you, Wake? So that's how it's just like palpating, right? You palpate on the recruiting and figure out, oh, hey, which of these guys is the best? I know I'm looking for these numbers, right? Blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to click through and see if this guy's a gem. So we found one known gem. So this will be up on our website, and give us some time to throw it up on our website as well. And yeah, guys, hopefully this helped you. And who would I go with? Athlete Dual Threat, or would I go with Backfield Creator? I'd probably go with Athlete Dual Threat, if I'm being frank.